Our next guys are contractors or cousins, and I'm joining the family. It's that simple, guys. I'm coming on board. They are a part of HGTV's hit show, America's Most Desperate Kitchens. Please welcome Anthony Carrino and John Colaneri. So I mean that because
thank you guys. Thank
you're immediately talking about how we can put this together. And, you know, do we need biscuit joiners and all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm impressed, man. You got some good DIY knowledge.
Well, because I wanted to do a butcher block DIY on the show, and you guys are doing this. But tell us about. Is there a most desperate kitchen that you guys have come across?
Exactly.
Quite a few.
I mean, it's hard to, just like say what's your favorite color, but.
Every kitchen that we do, of course, is desperate, and they keep getting worse. I think now we're on to season 2. We always say it can't get any worse than that.
But it does.
And it does. It does. America just keeps surprising us.
So what's the most desperate you've encountered?
Well, season 1, we did a kitchen right here in Sacramento. It was a 1970s ranch. It was just a beautiful kitchen that had country time wallpaper. It had this light that was
fluorescent lights.
Oh my God!
Beautiful.
It looks like an insane asylum.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Those brown cabinets that you just love to look at every single day.
Oh boy!
And as you can see now, the after. Now look at the after.
My goodness.
We took down the wall that separated into the dining room, 12-foot island. That, you might say, is that a carpet that is running to the center? That's tile.
Inlaid tile.
Inlaid tile into the wood.
So
but hold on
Mark, we don't, come on, man.
Come on, I mean,
come on.
But wait a minute, that must have been very expensive.
Not terribly. I mean, you know, we have, our budget varies depending on the project. I mean, the biggest challenge we run across is, believe it or not, the shows you see we do in 4 days. So the biggest problem you see is the one you don't. The stuff behind the walls.
I was going to say, that's where you run into problems. You go, we're just going to take that cabinet off, and you go,
and you got to remember.
There's termite damage, or there's other
electrical, plumbing. We run into it every episode.
And you have to remember, we surprise these people. So the amount of information we can get ahead of time is limited. So we design from across the country, we plan from across the country, we knock on the door, and then we figure out everything we don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Put it all back together and hand them the keys in 4 days. So it's crazy.
And you also,
The chef even wants
you also did an amazing job. I don't know what was inside of these walls, but this living room you did, the before and after.
Yeah, so
I can't even believe that's the same place.
It's actually the dining room space, and then on the back wall there is a beer tap. So it was a crazy setup.
Whoa.
Beer tap? Beer tap. Beer tap back,
6 taps.
6 taps.
Can I move in?
No. I got dibs on this family. You get out, Roger. Or Iceman.
Whatever your name is.
Yeah, pick one. That's. I'll tell you what. So let's talk about this counter, because this is something, this butcher block, this is something that was dire need. I've seen so many things spilled on here. I actually jumped up here and danced on it one day. I did.
It was yesterday.
It was
Awkward.
But I know it was awkward. It was. But what did you guys do? What did it need? And was it? And now it looks beautiful.
Yeah, so you guys had a pre-finished. So this is what it looked like prior to us getting our hands on it. And the pre-finished, it just has a factory finish on it, so it looks very plasticky.
Yeah.
It's actually a really beautiful, warm, vibrant wood.
Yeah.
We took a heavy grit sandpaper, took it all off, took it down to its natural finish, and then we sanded it down through multiple grits.
We actually have video of you doing this earlier.
Yeah,
let's take a look. Yeah, let's look at that.
Jealous, by the way.
Yeah, so like I said, we started with a heavy grit sandpaper. We got that factory coating off. You go with the grain, so just whatever direction the wood's running, you follow along with it.
Just one note on the grit that you're using on this.
So right now we did 80, then you go up to your 120, and then you want to make sure that you finish at a 220.
Which is, for people who don't know, that's the smooth. That's
the smooth, exactly. When you get into that finer finish, so you really smooth down all the wood.
So you get the 80 because it's the thickest to get in there.
You want to
wow, look how much you've taken off.
Right, but so here's the tip with the sawdust. You keep it, because if you have any gouges, you mix it with wood glue, and then you've got perfectly matched color to fill it.
Genius.
Bow down.
My cousin comes with the tips.
That's dropping knowledge right
So
there.
you just want to make sure, I mean, you're going to go over this multiple times. You really want to smooth it down and get it totally sanded down.
We get the dust off it, we wipe it down with a wet rag, and then after you let it air dry completely, you got to have all the water off the surface, then you're going to hit it with your food safe mineral oil until it is completely soaked.
Food safe mineral oil.
Food safe mineral oil, you're going to do a couple coats of that. You really want it to drench into the wood, because the wood's dry, right? So it has to absorb it. and you might do 5, 6, 7 coats until you don't see it bubble up anymore.
But you can feel it. You feel how nice that is?
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like
so
I could
you don't let it dry between because that won't.
No, you keep putting the food safe mineral oil on until you actually see it sit on the surface, and then you wipe away the excess. Let it settle in for a few hours.
Okay, so now you're putting beeswax on top.
Right.
Wow.
So this is the last step. It's basically going to lock in the oil. It puts a nice polish and a sheen on top of it. It's very hard to see, but you're going to feel that it's got a real silky feel to the top of it.
It smells so good too.
The beeswax is really maintenance. You're going to do this on a monthly or every other month basis to maintain your wood.
Can I use this because we say it's a butcher block top? Can it be used as a butcher block?
Put right on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And it's not. It won't be like salmonella or anything like that. It's fine.
That's why you have the food safe mineral oil.
Okay.
Because that's what seals it to make sure that
you want to double check? Let's double check with the chef. Are we all right?
True.
Right there it is.
Okay. And what if we don't do the beeswax once a month? Will it start to deteriorate? Or?
I mean, slowly. At bare minimum, you need to hit this with food safe mineral oil every 6 months. This is more of a maintenance thing. If you do this, you are going to preserve your wood a lot longer. You're not going to see the knife blades. If you cut directly on this and then use the beeswax, you're going to take those knife scratches right out. If you don't do this and you keep knifing, then you got to call us. We come in with our sanders, or you guys can follow our video and do it yourself next time.
Yes, we can do that. I mean, that is something too that you could do after a period of time. You just want to say, hey, let's just take it back.
Well, that's what we did there. And then
Look at that.
So now you can because of all the oil and the beeswax, you can see it bubbles right up. It doesn't sink down. So now when you are cooking, you're not getting any of that bacteria that's settling into the wood. It's sitting on top. You're gonna clean it off. Now, caveat here. Let's remember, this is wood. You cannot leave that water overnight.
Okay.
It's got to be a fast swipe because, of course, it will eventually make its way through.
Standing water is never good.
No, never good.
I mean, Mark, these guys are genius.
What are you talking about? My family here.
Oh, sorry, exactly.
Include me in this.
So guys, listen. Before we take off here, this is unfinished. This is natural wood. I see cup rings. The next time we come back, I want to see some sanding. I want to see some food safe mineral oil.
Or you guys just can come back and do it. I mean, it needs to match.
That's on our Pinterest page.
You're doing it.